Yeah, hi folks. Yes, Julian Batchelor has got the Maori party attention. He's got them hissing like caged feral cats. The other day they were in Parliament trying to link Julian to white supremacy and the Nazis. Not only is that a dirty, filthy lie, it's absolutely offensive. It's as bad as me calling them the N-word, and they get away with it.
Question number 10.
Tēnā koe te māngai. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all his government statements and actions?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Yes.
Supplementary. Does he stand by the comment of the Minister responsible for the GCSB who has said that the, quote, white supremacist threat in this country began to get serious attention only since mid-2018, unquote?
Mr Speaker, I have not seen that particular comment by the Minister, but I have no reason to disagree with it.
Supplementary. What has the government done since then, if anything, to ensure that the responding to the rising threat of white supremacy and anti-Maori hate is a priority for intelligence services and the police?
Mr Speaker, the member will shortly see, but we'll shortly be releasing national security and intelligence priorities. That will set out some of the work that we have done and some of the work that we are prioritising ahead. That includes targeting those who seek to radicalise anybody for a variety of different reasons. It will also seek to combat mis and disinformation, which of course we know is used in some of the techniques used by groups such as white supremacists. So it will set out quite a comprehensive strategy in those areas, but it will also canvass the things that we have done.
Supplementary. What concerns does he have, if any, that the recent anti-co-governance tour is contributing to a rise in racist rhetoric and violence against tangata whenua?
What violence against tangata whenua? The opposite is happening.
And when they're leaving, they're getting spat on, punched, kicked.
Hang on. People are being spat on by the protesters.
People are being spat on by the protesters as they're leaving. They're being punched, kicked, having their cell phones knocked out of their hands. They're being told that we're going to kill you, we're going to find out where you live and all this sort of stuff. So it's getting pretty wild out there. But the thing is that the interest about all this has gone exponentially through the roof. And we just had a meeting in Hastings night before last, and 25 protesters got inside. One lady, about a 25-year-old Maori lady, sat in the front row, and she lurched at my laptop about a third of the way through the presentation, raised it, pulled all the wires out of it. This all happened in about five seconds, pulled all the wires out of it, pulled it up above the top of her head, and then threw it down forcefully onto a concrete floor, and then tipped the data projector off the table.
Mr Speaker, I strongly disagree with some of the sentiment that has been expressed during that particular tour. I do believe it's important that we always balance the right to free speech here. People are entitled to have controversial, unpopular opinions, and ones that I strongly disagree with. I happen to strongly disagree with some of the things that have been expressed by the group of people who are running that tour.
Yeah, so Julian has obviously got the attention of the Labour Party as well.
Does he think that the social theory tactics creating moral panic and fear among many here in Aotearoa are being used by other political parties in this House, using words like subhuman, a word used by the Nazis, a white supremacist group, when describing the Jews, apartheid, a white supremacist tool used against black African peoples, and separatism and segregation, Jim Crow laws, a white supremacist tool used against African Americans, is fueling white supremacist anti-Maori tours disguised as anti-co-governance tours plaguing this country.
Yeah, so Waititi is clearly trying to link all that Nazi BS to Julian.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think any human beings should be described as subhuman. I think those sorts of expressions are reprehensible. I do regret that some phrases are now more commonly used, including the phrase apartheid, completely out of context and with an apparent lack of understanding for what apartheid actually involves.
Supplementary. Does he believe that it is the role of the police to protect only one side of a political debate?
So the police are protecting Julian's side of the debate?
In fact, in some places, we believe maybe it's even the police who are letting people know where these meetings are. Last night we had a meeting, here's a go.
Yeah.
Last night we had a fantastic meeting in Hastings. We did it telephone only. The police rang us and said, "Where's your meeting tonight? We want to help you." We said, "We'll let you know." We didn't let them know, and not one protester turned up. It's the first time.
Oh, hang on. This is interesting. So you actually had a physical meeting last night in Hastings?
We had a really good physical meeting last night. It was telephone only, so it was people just networking with their phones. We got a great location to have the meeting. We executed the meeting. We did not tell the police. The police were on to us all afternoon. Where's your meeting? Where's your meeting? We said we don't know yet. We're just confirming that. And we thought, let's not tell the police about this. Let's see how it goes. And
it would be very interesting, Julian, if you use that tactic again and see if you don't have any protesters again. That would kind of suggest that there is someone in police leaking to the protesters.
I would. It seems like it's that. We can't prove that, but it seems like that is happening because we'll do it again tonight. It's the first time we've had no protesters, and it's the first time we haven't called the police. There you go.
And allow white supremacists to assault tangata whenua and tangata tiriti engaging in peaceful protest.
Peaceful protest, really? Is that why Julian had to be escorted to his car the other night by the police, and his car was covered in graffiti?
We know we've had this group, Aotearoa Liberation League, who seem to be incredibly well funded. But it seems to me there are other groups now, if you like, taking the lead on what I think we can no longer call a counter-protest. It is an anti-free speech activist thing that's going on now. Do you know who the group is who's organising this?
Well, my car was outside in the car park in Palmerston North, and we had graffiti all over the car when I came out. They'd let two of the tyres down on the car, and we had to get the AA. We didn't get home till 2 a.m. We had to let the, get the AA in to pump the tyres up, and we had to clean up the car. But on the car was written Antifa all over the car. And so we now no longer have just the Aotearoa Liberation League. We have Antifa, and there's another group called the Anti-Fascist Aotearoa, I think it's called, group.
Yeah.
So there's several different political groups, but we know this is being funded because we often see the same people turning up. But there was 150 in Palmerston North and another 100 at Hastings turned up. And they did a haka outside. Maori did a haka outside, and the building was actually shaking at one stage.
Mr. Speaker, I believe it is the role of police to ensure that the right to free speech is protected, that the right to peaceful assembly and peaceful protest is also respected, and the right for people to hold uncontroversial opinions and express those is also protected, and that needs to be done equally.
But it's not, and you know it. And now the crybaby Labour Party and the Maori Party get the deep state involved.
And we now have the Electoral Commission writing to us saying we're going to stop you sending out your booklets because they're putting people off voting, the Maori Party and the Labour Party.
What?
So we've got
Okay, Julian, you keep on dropping these mini bombshells on me. So the Electoral Commission have written to you saying what about your booklet?
Saying that our booklet is causing people, putting them off voting for the Maori Party and the Labour Party, and therefore you're under investigation. And if you read between the lines, we're going to either fine you or stop you from distributing your book anymore. So we've got a lawyer dealing with that.
Yes, folks, as I said in my last video, The left can only win by lying, cheating and deceiving people. Anyway, folks, I've posted all the relevant links below.